Raze Chaos.
What you're about to watch in this room is a strange mortal combat between a man and himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Or as I usually put it, and welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You have made it back to my channel, and we have a very special episode today. We have a very special video because this is a video based on one of the most influential people that Raze has ever encountered. Influencing Raze himself. This is a big part of the reason that Raze does what he does. This is one of his inspirations. It's one of his early loves. This is, I mean, even though it's just flat out says, just called the narrator, this is Rod Serling. This is the narrator to the Twilight Zone.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
And Rod Serling was a very, very interesting man. He was an activist. He was a war hero, several times decorated with the Purple Heart. He managed to get a Purple Heart and was discharged. Basically got his regular discharge, even though he'd served in wartime. He had a lot to do with the Philippines during his tenure.
He has no interest save whatever current annoyances he can put his mind to.
I believe during his tenure I believe he achieved a T4 was what his rank had ended up as. Raze isn't into doesn't understand quite how much what rank means, but being as how he was during wartime, even though he had a Purple Heart, he did not, it wasn't something that took him out. I mean, he was discharged as normal, as if he hadn't been. But he did see a lot of things. And one of the things about Rod Serling was that he had a very, very active imagination. One of the things that they've described as far as his past goes is that his family had described is when he was young and they would go on family trips. Rod Serling, being a little kid in the back seat, he would basically assign a character to every person in the car for, one of his pulp stories that he had been reading. He would want to recite the entire thing, and he would do so. And it didn't matter that nobody else was participating. He would just recite the entire thing as he went, as if they were. Very dedicated storyteller, to be sure. He was the creator of the Twilight Zone. He had created a small show before that, and a couple of shows after that. The most notable being Night Gallery. But although he didn't write all the stories from these, he did write a good portion of it, and continued to write them even after both series went off the air. He is very, a lot of his stuff is very influential, and he is very well known, and yeah, I mean, to be the person that created the Twilight Zone says an awful lot about you. And he did host a lot of the Twilight Zones himself. I don't think he hosted all of them. I'm talking about the original run, not the later revisions and later attempts at doing it. But the one thing that's absolutely sure is that when you have the Twilight Zone and there's no Rod Serling, you feel it. And, you know, the fact that those stories could be comedic, they could be dramatic, they could be terrifying, they could lead into the sci-fi, they could lead into the dark supernatural, just unexplained. That's a big deal as far as what made the Twilight Zone so loved. And I can't believe I'm still holding this little jackass. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy away, and we're going to talk about him.
Suspended in time and space for a moment.
Very prolific writer as far as that goes, and his presence on the Twilight Zone was very felt. I think the one thing that Raze finds missing in this is the cigarette. Rod Serling was a very big smoker. And when I say smoker, I mean, okay, full disclosure, Raze used to smoke. At his worst, he was a pack to a pack and a half a day smoker. And a lot of people referred to him as a heavy smoker at the time. Yeah, I mean, I think right about the time Raze actually quit, he was actually kind of leaning into the over a pack a day. That's why he mentioned pack and a half, but I don't think ever quite got there. But yeah, Raze used to smoke. Raze smoked for several years, and then just one day stopped. I mean, there's no secret Raze doesn't have a secret as to how he quit. He went to go get cigarettes one day, forgot to get them, realized it as he was walking out of the parking lot of the place, and then thought, hey, you've gotten this far, just keep going. And bam, you know, it just held. And part of why it doesn't make sense is because Raze tried several times while he was an active smoker to quit. And yeah, he would be lucky if he made it half a day.
No logic, no reason, no explanation. Just a prolonged nightmare.
But even at his worst, like, he could not imagine being somebody that smoked 3 to 4 packs a day. That would be like, it's like, I just don't understand. I don't even understand why it was just like, because, I mean, even being a smoker, there were times when Raze was just like, okay, it's just too smoky in here. I just can't do this anymore. So I can't imagine having adapted yourself to that level. But at the same time, also, he was a war hero. He was in the Philippines on active duty for a long time. And, you know, who's to say what kind of horrors he saw there? And he most definitely suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, even though it was never actually, I don't think it was actually addressed. I think that the horror that he dealt with inside of his head was put out into his stories. And he basically shared that with the world without actually, you know, letting it be publicly known just what kind of effect it had on him. And I'm sure there are interviews where he mentioned something similar to that. It's really, it might be interesting to go through his interviews more so, but like, quite frankly, when I see the man talk, I'm waiting to see the story. I'm waiting to see what he's going to bring and show us next. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to go ahead and take this guy out, and we're going to have a look at him, because this is too cool. This is like a crowning moment for Raze, because it's just like, oh yeah, the ultimate horror host is now in Raze's collection. Let's take him out.
What you have just looked at takes place 300 feet underground.
And, I mean, honestly, there is not much to this figure. I mean, it is a man in a suit with his hands folded in front of him. The hairstyle and the eyebrow wrinkles are really the most distinguishing things about this, to let you know that this is actually Rod Serling, and the offset eyebrows, which is subtle, which is perfect, and makes it that much better. But at the same time, it doesn't make for a very exciting pop. I can see a lot of people passing on this one, because it is, I mean, it's even in black and white. So, I mean, it's the very definition of drab. And on top of that, it's not like he ever actually really did anything. He just kind of came in and narrated sometimes. So, yeah, as far as collectors go, I can see just the diehard Twilight Zone fans wanting this, more than anything else. And for as simple as it is, I could see this being like top of the list. Yeah, like I said, it's the hat, it's the eyebrow, eyebrows, the forehead wrinkles, and the hair that really distinguish this. Otherwise, you just have a black and white dude holding on, which is why I really felt like he should like have the cigarette in his hand, considering, I mean, watching the show, you saw a lot of that. Not always. He wasn't always smoking on camera or not, but I don't know that there was ever a real like rule or specific reason as to why he was or wasn't smoking in certain things. But yeah, he would come out, he would guide you in, because he very much was the your only guide to the Twilight Zone. And yeah, this is a crowning. This was one, when Raze saw it, he knew he had to have it. And yeah, this had to become part of the collection. And this is one of this is, for as simple as it is, this goes up to the top of Raze's absolute must-have list, and one of the pops that Raze is absolutely very proud to own. And yeah, it's just like, I mean, the Twilight Zone played such an influence on the world in general. This is one of the this, along with the like, say, the EC comics of the time. These were all in contention for, the horror that was going on. And while he didn't get tagged with as many, as much resistance as the comic books did, he even had, there even were Twilight Zone comics. Not even kidding. Like, they were out there. Sometimes his face was on them, sometimes they weren't, because he was just that synonymous with it. But while the comics would get panned, they would be attacked. The Twilight Zone, though it was controversial, kind of came out even shinier at the end of that. So, I mean, the influence that's had on modern horror is unmistakable. It is ingrained with so much. It's just like, you can see his influences on Stephen King and some of the other people that influence others. Like, this is an early influence into this. He's up there with H.P. Lovecraft as far as the way he would handle characters and stories. And he was a directly influenced by Edgar Allan Poe. I do believe that they did some Edgar Allan Poe stories in the Twilight Zone, and he did, like, well, he didn't write every episode of the Twilight Zone. He was like the guy who chose what went to air, what got filmed, and what got done. So regardless as to whether he wrote it or not, you were getting what he felt and, you know, his perspective on things. And of course, just, you know, between this and the Mr. Nobody video, it's just more weird. It's just, Raze warns you it was going to be weird. And, you know, I mean, at this point, like, it doesn't get more going into a weird era than Rod Serling taking you into the Twilight Zone. You know what? I think I will let Rod Serling actually lead us out on this and have him, you know, go ahead and end this video.
In real life, such ridiculous nonsense could never...
Rod. I mean, you shouldn't say such things as nonsense and ridiculous.
Well, that's the way it goes.
Well, that didn't work. Where did the pop go? Okay. At any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now. I'm gonna have to find this thing. Where did it go? I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I don't even know what that's from. This is just, never forget that life is full of odd moments, and you never know when you're going to be defined.